Okay guys, Carl Strickert here again, and I'm going to show you once you've been logged in what the dashboard looks like and what each thing means. So on the first part of the dashboard, you're going to see here where it says leads on hand. These are your brand new leads or your working leads. These aren't your customer database, and it's not your dead leads that you've already worked through and had no opportunity with. The next thing here is current sales. So on current sales, this will be for the month, your current month. Right now it shows that I have $2,620 in current sales. Now this number here is up to you what you want to put in. You could either put in what your commission's going to be, or you could do what your gross sell would be. So it'd be like the total, like if you were in real estate or something like that, you could do like the value of the home, or if you sold furniture, like high-end furniture, or you sold cars, or whatever the case may be, you could put the total sell price on here. If you're in a sales organization, they might have a certain way that they want you to implement this number, so that way when they look at the numbers, they could see what totals are. And if you're by yourself, you can kind of do it however you want. You know, if you're in insurance, you would do like your annual premiums, anything like that. So you would see your total here, and then you would know what your gross total is. And then if you wanted to do commissions, and you could actually see what your total commissions are for the month. So kind of just depends on what you want to do there. The next thing in green here with the chain is going to actually show you the number of sales that you've done for the month. So like actual closed deals that you've made. And then number 6 here is going to show you the number of presentations that you've done. So you could see it's a pretty high closing ratio based off of this. Now the next group here doesn't necessarily give you the best description, because I'm only showing one lead source that I've implemented into the system. But for every lead source that you design and you develop and you want to track, this will actually track the percentages of presentations that you've done and the percentages of actual closed sales that you've done, and then you can actually see just a quick like bird's eye view of what those look like which ones are you're seeing the most and where are most of your sales coming from. The next thing here is your goals. And on the goals, you'll be able to set this. I'm going to show you later on in another video, but on the goals, you'll be able to set this based off of your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, however you want to set your goals up. You can do that here. And so right here, it's just basically showing you the activity that you want to focus on. So let's say you were like, I want to do 45 presentations in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever that case may be. For me, I did it for the month. And so it shows you where I'm at. I've done 8 so far, and I've got 45 based off this date range. So I've got 45 total, and it tells me where I'm at in percentage rates. Drop buys, these are like drop-ins. If you are in business-to-business sales, a lot of times people go out to the actual location, knock on doors, find out who the business owner is, find out who the decision makers are in those businesses, depending on what you do. Like if you're in video marketing, or if you're in local SEO, or if you're in website development, you build websites for local businesses, or whatever the case may be. You know, if you're in insurance, then you're actually dropping out on people's homes. If you're selling security systems, and you're doing drop buys that way as well, because you work leads, this is what this will actually it'll actually track that number for you. And you know, being a sales veteran myself, I'd found that drop-bys were a lot more effective than making phone calls. So that's why I wanted to stick this in here, because it's a lot harder to shut the door on someone's face than it is to hang up the phone. So I'm sure you agree there. And when you're buying leads, the biggest thing is you want to get the maximum return of investment with leads. So in order to get the maximum return of investment, you know, you have to have that good door knocking script with that lead in your hand. And I'm not really doing sales training here, but I like to give tips along the way. Now, the next thing here is number of sales. So it's like the number of closed deals, and then your sales total. Like if you've got a goal every single month that you want to hit. So right here, I said I want to write $15,400 in sales. And again, that could be commissions, or it could be whatever you want it to be based off of. Total gross sales, commissions, whatever you want. Now, the next thing is going to show my today's events. Now, on today's events, it's you could do everything. This is the cool thing about the system, and the reason why and the way I designed this is like you could literally do everything you want to do right from the dashboard for that day. So like if you're just focusing on what your events are for that day, at that time, then basically you could just go through and start working them from here. And you can call out from here as well. So like say I wanted to make a phone call with this lead, I could actually just hit this button, and then bam, this is actually going to pop up and allow me to make that phone call. Now you can see I sent a message to somebody there, but anyway, you can see that there. And then let's just say like I wanted to disposition the lead. I got a hold of that person. I could hit this button here, and it's going to actually allow me to disposition that lead. This is something you want to do like every single time. Like right now it's showing me, let me just close it out here. Looks like this last one was an appointment. So this would be, when I went to disposition, it wouldn't be a phone call, it'd actually be a visit, right? So once I wanted to visit it, and if you notice, every time a lead gets moved, it goes into working. It's never going to be a new lead once you start dispositioning it. So it will automatically disposition the next frequency of that lead as a working lead, and then you can actually go from there. Like on hold, those are leads, like the on hold leads are people that literally you just can't get a hold of and you're sick of looking at it in your database. I like to keep my database super clean. I like to work leads as quickly or as fast as I get them, because they go cold like moldy bread. I mean, they mold and they deteriorate like moldy bread. So keep that in mind. You got dead leads. Those are the ones like people that just blew you off. They're not interested and you're sick of looking at them in your database. And then you've got customers. Now, that's the ultimate goal, is to make those people customers. It'll actually automatically go to customers. So if I go to working, I go to visit, that means I went out to their house. And let's say I wanted to actually track the mileage, I can do that from here as well. So I could say my login and my lead location, or I can do my lead location and my last disposition location. That's like if you did a presentation, then drove to another lead, or did a drop by and drove to another lead, you could actually disposition it that way. Calculate. It's going to actually calculate the miles and the distance from that lead. And then what I do, were they home? If they weren't home, then I can do a reschedule. Like I can reschedule myself up for an appointment, a callback, a reminder, a phone meeting, or other. But let's just say I presented. It was an appointment. I've already got a hold of them. I could say that, you know what, I didn't sell these people. Now, it's important to track literally why you're not selling people, because later on and down the road, we can actually take these numbers and we could see like, is there any patterns going on? So like if you had like affordability kept being the issue and you saw that that was like the highest percentage of reasons why they didn't buy, then there's something you need to work out in your presentation to overcome affordability. You need to overcome affordability in your presentation. Basically, it just gives you those little keys and helps you with your closing ratio ultimately. You can still schedule yourself another callback or something like that. Like a lot of times if I don't have a sell for someone, I will, and I did a presentation, I'll actually try to call them back, or an appointment. I'll just, when I'm with them, I'll say, hey, you know what? Maybe you just need a little bit more time to think about this. Maybe it's not about affordability. Maybe it's just about the need, because, one of my best sales mentors used to say that affordability is based off the need. If the need's great enough, it doesn't matter what it cost. So, that's going into that sales training there again. But one thing that I was always trained on doing is like, well, if you didn't sell them, schedule a callback, schedule an appointment, find out where they're at. I mean, at least you're doing your job, and it's a numbers game. So the more that you do this, the higher the percentage ratio you're going to have of success. So I could do that, and I can go ahead and find, like, I want to call them back on Monday, 1 o'clock. Okay, now they're in the schedule. I want to make sure that this goes into my Google Calendar. So I'll hit that, hit accept. Okay, now I can actually take this, affordability. There we go. So now I can actually take this. I have to redo it, but I can take this and all right, so now I can take this and I can go ahead and save the lead. And even though I didn't sell the lead, at least, and I can also track referrals. I forgot to mention that, but you can actually track the number of referrals. Again, another number you want to focus on in sales. The best lead you can get is a referral, and the highest closing ratio is a referral. So they're free leads besides the cost of your gas and the cost of your mouth asking for them, or the way that you ask for them. And they have a higher closing ratio. If you work them right, you can close a lot higher people, and they're free leads. Now, once I'm done with that lead, I can go ahead and say I worked it. So I'd hit this button here, and it says event attended. And if you notice, Sleepy Cat now has a line through it. So basically what that's doing is it's just letting me know. So next time if I log in and I want to look at my dashboard and see what my schedule looks like, I'm literally not going to be able to, I could still work it, but I'm literally going to be able to just say, oh, okay, I've already worked this. And anytime that I'm rescheduling something or dispositioning something as a seller or no sell, I want to make sure that I'm checking that box. All right, so that's it. This is Carl Schucker. That's it for the dashboard. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for attending.